Namaste, welcome friends. In this lesson we're going to speak about the Sun in Gemini. The Sun is the primary indicator of ourself. The Sun is called Sarvatma, the soul of all, and we are a partial manifestation of the cosmos, of divinity, of the Sun. So wherever the Sun is placed in our horoscope will tell us what do we identify with, whichever area we can succeed in, from where the resources in our life are coming, and also what is our dharma, what is our career. The Sun will manifest as a different Aditya depending on the months of the year. There are 12 Adityas described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Brahma Purana, and understanding the Aditya of the Sun will help us to learn more about how the Sun will manifest in our horoscope. It's very important to note that we'll be using the sidereal zodiac for all of these predictions. So if you don't know your sidereal horoscope, have a look at the link in the description and look at your Vedic chart, at your sidereal chart. If you were born somewhere between the 15th of June and 15th of July, chances are extremely high that your Sun will be placed in Gemini in your sidereal horoscope. That means that the Sun in your chart manifests as Mitra Aditya. Mitra is connected to friendships, to communication, to social circuits, to partnership, to kindness. So we will often see, if the Sun is placed in Gemini, that a person will have a big friendship circle, that a person will know how to communicate, that a person will know how to make connections. This can be very positive, manifesting as diplomatic skills, great communication skills, an open and youthful mindset, the ability to partner and to make friends. However, it can also manifest as shadow side when a person bases their self-identity on social approval, when a person needs others to validate their importance. It can also sometimes lead to superficial relationships or using other people to accomplish our purpose, particularly because all our friends of the Sun in Gemini often are great communicators, particularly if Mercury is also well placed. Now, Gemini is the sign of siblings. It is the sign that represents two things. So often our friends with Sun in Gemini, or we ourselves, can have two faces, two personalities. Therefore we have kind of many friends, because wherever we appear we can put up a different show, we can put up a different face. We often also have many different skills, many hobbies. The third sign of the zodiac is connected to our hands and arms. So this person can be very gifted with their hands, with their hobbies, with their creative pursuits. They know how to handle things, they know how to handle people. So many blessings arise from the Sun in Gemini. Varahamihira, he really favors the placement of the Sun in Gemini, saying this placement makes a person very intelligent, very quick in understanding new concepts, and that he says it makes a Jyotiṣa, it makes an astrologer. Usually we like the Sun, Mercury and Jupiter. We like these three planets to influence our personality. Maybe they're placed in Kendra, maybe we have the Sun and Jupiter conjoined in a Mercurial sign in Kendra. The Sun, Mercury and Jupiter together, they make an astrologer, because we need the Sun, we need the power to see, we need Agni Grahas, we need Mercury, the ability to learn very quickly, and also we need a strong Jupiter. We need this deep wisdom, we need a connection to our guru, to lineage, to be good Jyotiṣis. Now, besides this, coming back to the symbol of siblings, Gemini Suns can often manifest two personalities, therefore they can have many friends, and sometimes for this reason they can get a little bit lost in themselves, because they're putting up too many masks, they're putting up too many identities depending on where they are, and this can sometimes cause them to fall down. Sometimes they can spread themselves too thin with too many hobbies. We often say the jack of all trades but the master of none, that these are some issues with the Sun in Gemini. The Sun here also is in an air sign. It is a dual sign. The air, it indicates movement, it indicates exchange, and it is dual. So these people, they know which information to communicate, which information to hold back. It's a very excellent placement. It is a Sattvic sign, and the Sun is a Sattvic planet. So we do like the Sun in Gemini. Other problems that can arise with the Sun in Gemini. Gemini, among all places, it is also connected to casinos, to gambling houses, to brothels. Gemini is also connected to Mithuna, to sexual union. So if the Sun is placed in Gemini, sometimes a person can become a little bit too involved in sexual affairs. Sometimes the Sun in Gemini, it can make a little bit of a playboy, a person who really likes to have fun and to justify his endeavors. He knows how to communicate, he knows how to put on a show. Gemini in general, we also look at the sign of communication. So if the Sun is placed in the sign of communication, we have a strong communicator. Often careers will be connected to communication, to speaking of many people, to writing. The Sun in Gemini can make an excellent writer. Often we work in careers that involve a lot of communication, the sharing of information technology. It's all very connected to the Sun in Gemini. How does a person communicate? Usually a person communicates quite straightforward. There's a boldness to them because the Sun brings the fire element. How does fire communicate? It's sharp, it is straightforward, it is a little bit cutting, it can burn. So also if the Sun is in Gemini, you have a quite strong masculine communication style. We can have a person who speaks more than they're able to listen. So for Suns in Gemini, it's very important to learn to listen to others, to add a little bit of softness to their speech, a little bit of sensitivity. That is very, very important for the Sun in Gemini. Siblings can also become very important if the Sun is placed in Gemini. We might have a strong bonding to our siblings. One of our siblings might be like the Sun, have a very strong or overbearing personality. Within Gemini, we have 3 nakshatras. We have the end of Mrigashira. We have Mrigashira, Ardra and Purnavasu. In the middle of Gemini, we have Ardra. Ardra is connected to the Sarpas, to great psychological depth, to a deeper understanding of the shadow side of human nature. So if the Sun is placed in Ardra Nakshatra in the middle of Gemini, a person will often be able to see the shadow side of others. They can see the faults of others. They will be really expert in controlling people and manipulating people. Speech can become a little bit manipulative if the Sun is placed in Ardra Nakshatra in Gemini. Besides that, the Sun in Gemini is also in the house of a neutral. So if Mercury is placed far away from the Sun, if Mercury is not placed in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 12th, 11th or 10th house from the Sun will be placed in the sign of an enemy. This means that the positive energy of the Sun in Gemini will not be able to manifest as easily. If Mercury is close by, that is wonderful. The Sun will be placed in the sign of a temporary friend and give great delight. Overall, the Sun in Gemini is a beautiful placement, indicating careers related to communication, careers related to bringing people together, connecting people, careers related to being a friend, being there for others. And the shadow side of the Sun in Gemini, it is the strength, which is their communication ability, their ability to make friends, the presence that they bring into a room. It is their strength and it is their shadow side if they don't use it wisely, if they fall prey to their lower natures, if they tend to manipulate people, if they get too obsessed with themselves and just talk without listening, then the Sun in Gemini can manifest a little bit more difficult. But overall, it is one of our favorite placements, if a person was born with their Sun in Gemini. Thank you so much for listening in. Just some food for thoughts here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have your Sun in Gemini, please let me know in the comments. Can you relate to what I've shared with you? What are you doing for work? I would love to hear. Thank you. Stay blessed.